All right, let's talk about 2026. And look, forget all those flimsy New Year's resolutions that never stick. This is something different. We're talking about actually rewiring your brain for insane focus, more energy, and just flat out high performance. We're going to build a complete system, your own personal blueprint for the year. But first, I have a serious question for you. Do you ever feel like you're just floating through your day? You know, you're constantly being pulled towards your phone, just chasing that next little hit of stimulation, that next notification. Well, if that sounds familiar, you might just be a dopamine zombie. You know, the source material for this explainer just puts it perfectly. Stop waking up like a zombie chasing a pigeon meme. That feeling, waking up and the very first thing you do is grab your phone for some meaningless, silly distraction. Yeah, that is the exact habit that we are here to break, starting right now. And this brings us right to the heart of the issue, what we're calling the dopamine zombie problem. You gotta understand, this is the invisible force that's holding so many of us back from doing our absolute best work, and maybe even from feeling our best. So here's what's actually happening in your brain. When you reach for your phone first thing in the morning, you're essentially frying your brain's entire reward system for the day. You're teaching it to crave these cheap, super easy dopamine hits, which makes it almost impossible to focus on the difficult, meaningful stuff later on. Okay, so how in the world do we fix this? Well, the answer isn't about just gritting your teeth and using more willpower. Nope, it's a total paradigm shift. The real key here is to design, not discipline. In this quote right here, this really gets to the heart of it all. Your success isn't about how motivated you feel when you wake up. It's all about the system and the environment you build around yourself. Why? Because motivation, it comes and goes. But a good design, that's automatic. And this just highlights the massive difference. I mean, relying on motivation is like trying to push a giant boulder uphill every single day. It's exhausting, it's unreliable, but environmental design, that's like building a nice, smooth track where the boulder just rolls on its own. It makes good behavior automatic and consistent once you've set it up. So let's get practical. Let's get into the nuts and bolts. Here it is, the 7-habit blueprint that's going to put that whole design philosophy into action for you. First up, and this one is absolutely crucial, low dopamine mornings. The goal here is simple. You have to protect your focus and your attention when they are at their most vulnerable, which is at the very start of your day. And it really is this simple. When you wake up, just do not touch your phone for at least 30 to 60 minutes. This one little rule prevents you from frying those dopamine receptors we just talked about, and it preserves your precious focus for the things that actually matter. Okay, next, we've got the boring brick protocol. I love this one. This is all about changing your entire relationship with your phone. Instead of it being this shiny slot machine in your pocket, you're going to turn it into a tool, a really, really boring tool. So how do you actually do it? Well, you design the distraction right out of the device. Get rid of the apps that pull you in. Switch your screen to black and white. Trust me, it makes it so much less appealing. And then put those social media apps in a folder buried deep, deep on your phone. We call that the distraction prison. Okay, habit 6 is your secret weapon against procrastination. It's called the 3-second warrior reaction. This is for those moments when your brain tells you to stay comfortable, you know, to hit snooze or to put off that really hard task for later. And here's what you do. You don't think. You don't argue with that little voice of hesitation. You just start counting down. 3, 2, 1. And go. The second you hit 1, you physically move. You throw the covers off, you stand up, you open the laptop. Remember, action comes before motivation. That small, physical movement literally short-circuits your brain's ability to talk you out of it. It's a game changer. All right, habit 4. This gives you a system for truly elite-level focus. It's called the block, lock, execute system, and it's designed to help you master these 3-hour deep work sessions so you can finally enter that elusive state of flow whenever you want. It's a really simple 3-part process. First, you block out the time, and you choose one, and I mean only one, high-impact task. Then you lock in your focus using triggers. This could be anything, like putting on a specific productivity hoodie or playing a certain deep beats playlist. And then you just execute. You let the system autopilot you straight into flow state. Habit number 3 is all about recovery. Because let's be real, your performance during the day is built entirely on how you sleep at night. That's why we have to understand the 90-minute sleep architecture. This is about treating sleep not just like charging a battery, but as a series of really specific cycles. See, as you can see, your brain moves through sleep in these rough 90-minute blocks. The big secret here is to wake up at the end of a cycle, so at 4.5 hours, 6 hours, or 7.5 hours, not smack in the middle of one. This is the key to waking up feeling refreshed and ready to go instead of groggy and miserable. And finally, we have habit 7, which really ties this all together: energy portfolio management. Look, high performance requires high energy, and you have to start treating your energy like a CEO managing valuable assets. It must be actively managed and invested in. It's a really simple equation. No energy means no focus. And as you can see, this doesn't require some grueling 2-hour workout. A simple 10-minute energy upgrade, like a quick walk outside or a few push-ups, can dramatically boost your energy, which directly fuels your brain for whatever's next. So you might be wondering, why does all of this work so dang well? Let's take a quick peek at the science of control that's really underpinning this entire blueprint. See, inside your head, there's this constant battle going on. You've got your prefrontal cortex, that's the logical CEO part that makes smart, long-term decisions. But you also have your limbic system. That's the emotional monkey mind that's always craving cheap comfort and instant gratification. These habits, they give all the power back to the CEO. And those focus triggers we talked about earlier, the hoodie, the music, they aren't just silly little rituals. They are literally training your brain just like Pavlov trained his dogs. The cue automatically triggers the mental state of focus. No willpower required. It just happens. Now, this brings us to what might be the most powerful habit of all, the one that really anchors everything else. Because this isn't just about changing what you do, it's about changing who you are. Habit 5 is probably the most foundational of them all, the I am identity shift. See, the core idea here is that our behavior always follows our identity. So if you want to make change that actually lasts, you have to change the story you tell yourself about yourself. Think about it. Instead of saying, I have to go to the gym, you start telling yourself, I am an athlete. Instead of I have to work, it becomes I am the type of person who loves building. Suddenly, the action isn't a chore anymore. It's just an expression of who you are. This quote just sums it up perfectly. You literally need to brainwash yourself with this new identity. You repeat it and you live it until it becomes so deeply ingrained that high performance is no longer something you have to force. It's just what you do. It's automatic. So, there you have it. The blueprint is here, and all the tools are in your hands. The only question left is a really simple one, but it changes absolutely everything. Who will you design yourself to be?